this is part of the reconciliation, reconciling ourselves with humanity. Yesterday, it was like, I accept the fact that I'm a human, and it is safe to be in communion and community with other human beings. Welcome to Activations with JJ. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode today. It is the first that I've recorded since the fires broke out in Los Angeles, and in that path of destruction, we are here with still not fully contained fires, and my family and I are safe at this moment in time. Thank you for all of your messages and thoughts, and just everything that you've done to let me know that you're thinking of us here. Emotionally, it's obviously a difficult time for everybody. We are in this energy of loss. We are seeing on social media and through friends and family, hearing about the aftermath, and still, at this moment again, waiting to see if the fires will spread. We are doing all that we can to send and flow intention that they will subside, that they will be contained, and that we will be able to begin to restore what was lost to a certain degree. And I have a lot of thoughts. It's a little difficult to capture with words. Yesterday, we held a circle of intention for Los Angeles and honestly for the entire world. So many incredible messages came through. If you're interested in receiving the audio playback, the link is below. It's on a page of my website. You can just access it for free. But there were some very powerful messages that came through. I don't know if you've noticed, but there are many light workers, you could say, sharing messages on their social media accounts that are very powerful. It's like this situation was a big catalyst for people being able to really fully step into their expression and their authenticity. One of the most powerful things to come out of yesterday's gathering was not what you'd expect, although we did flow love and intention and work with the Council of Elementals, the Earth Mothers and the Star Mothers, to bring healing and compassion to this area of the world and all areas of the world that have or are experiencing suffering. The main message that came through was that it's time for us to remember our assignment. I just keep better understanding my role, my assignment is to help activate remembrance. It's not really teaching anybody anything new. It's time to remember, and it's safe to remember. And what I would love to invite each and every one of you to do, as it's very easy for us to get swept up in the emotions on media, social media, wherever the media is to invite you, whenever you're reading about or listening or watching anything related to the fires, to maintain a regulated nervous system and to flow that frequency to the people, the places that you're witnessing. And that's really what the rest of the world is doing at this time, is witnessing. And sometimes you are feeling drawn to assist in material ways, sometimes in energetic ways, sometimes in both. I've included a link below with information about places and people you can donate to. As always, use your discernment. Use your discernment on how to best support. I've noticed the theme for 2025 that I shared in the monthly energy update. The theme of co-creation, collaboration, community, reconciling ourselves with humanity. I've noticed that coming out. Hearts are heavy. And for those of us who are empaths, again, we're being invited to release our sensitive empath and step into our sovereign sage, taking a perspective that allows us to maintain the regulated nervous systems needed energetically to hold a field of energy around this opportunity for contemplation, for restoration. Another really important part of our circle of intention yesterday was the fact that I felt drawn to go to the collective Akashic records for humanity and bring to completion any contracts we had that dictated a global apocalypse. We've seen that portrayed in movies over and over again over the last little while. All the dystopian novels and movies, and they're tapping into a subconscious desire or contract of the collective that I believe is somewhat rooted in religious programming that has basically laid a foundation that we still are a little bit attached to a collective, a global apocalyptic experience. And what came forward was we severed the contract in order to release the idea that in order to progress and evolve as humanity, we need to experience the devastation, the desolation. And I'm hearing right now the word self-punishment. It's really not about pointing fingers right now, unless that's your call, because yesterday we also said, you don't worry about anybody else's assignment. But the frequency I'm holding in the perspective that I'm a conduit for is one of knowing and understanding that we're creating our own reality and how everything outside of us is a reflection of everything inside of us. And so when things happen outside of us, we can point fingers, and it's not a bad idea to hold things and people accountable, because then, change can happen. But also going inside and seeing where we have areas of our personal psyche, our mental body, our emotional body, our soul templates, our archetypes that are holding on to martyr, victim. Just feeling a little bit light language coming through. And I had a beautiful friend, Halo Soul, some of you might follow her, who shared a message the other day. I think it was just 1 or 2 days ago. And she said she's been in sacred pause. She has connections and ties to Los Angeles, even though she is not physically here. And that's where I feel I've been as well. That was a great way to articulate what I've been feeling. And I felt it was only out of the utmost respect and honor for what loss has happened so close to my home. And there is still a threat of fire spreading to where I live. I'm obviously holding the frequency and creating the reality through intention that will not occur. But now it's time to roll up our sleeves and to get to work, sharing our messages. And I'm going to use this podcast to let you know that you're going to see things come back to life. And I want you to know it's not out of disrespect for what's still happening and for the restoration and this long period of rebirth that's happening for Los Angeles. But it's because of that I want to continue to spread the work that I'm doing throughout the globe. Before the fires, I had a lot coming through, a lot of offerings and so many travels, so much grid work that I know I need to do this year. I mean, things I wasn't even expecting that I will be sharing with you, and opportunities to co-create with you, because as much as a part of me is feeling overwhelmed and feeling drawn to isolate and shut down to a certain degree, I know that stopping what I am doing is not the answer. And so I will continue to do what I do. And again, simultaneously holding a space of reverence and sacred pause for my community. In addition to getting out in my community as much as I possibly can physically, not in front of my computer, but out with people doing whatever needs to be done and whatever I feel called to do. And I recommend that even though you're potentially not in Los Angeles, that you use this particular situation as a wake-up call to the potential lack of imbalance in the spiritual community to serve their fellow humans in ways that aren't always obvious. Even people who think differently than you, who act differently than you, who dress differently than you, who look differently than you, especially those people that are not necessarily part of the quote-unquote spiritual community. And I think it was either September or October, one of the energy updates, I think it was September 2024. In the energy update, the idea was to get out in your community, get to know other humans. This is part of the reconciliation, reconciling ourselves with humanity. Yesterday, it was like, I accept the fact that I'm a human, and it is safe to be in communion and community with other human beings. It's time to share our light in the places we wouldn't always expect to share our light. Uriana kai soko shiatara isana ostoko iana karai. Shaktoto shianaraya koto kiadara. Huianatas kot ushtidara krai nuko shtitarak dai shototo itarak nai sokotoko ya. So I'm going to get back in the saddle. And I'm going to continue to expand and to spread my influence in whatever way that I can, because I remember my assignment. And my assignment is not to grow quieter when things get difficult. It's to continue to serve humanity with my unique frequency. And that's your assignment too. I know this is a brief message, but I just wanted to get this out to you today. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for your love and your support, for your precious time in co-creating with me. It's an honor to be on this earth with you at this time, and I look forward to a year full of co-creation, expansion, rebirth. And remembrance. 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 I'm sending you so much love and reminding you that I am you and you are me and we are we. And so it is. Until next time, my friends.